face that should be familiar to most of you, Ashley Gann, is a chief meteorologist at CBS 42 in Birmingham. In that role, she's a go-to woman for many of us during weather crisis, and she uses cutting-edge technology to keep us informed and, most importantly, keep us safe. Before earning a master's degree in geoscience and meteorology, she did an undergraduate work in aerospace engineering, and she remains a major advocate for STEM education here in our community.
But truly, for me to do my job the best that I can do, and my job is to be the best communicator I can be to the public, and especially in times of crisis and need, and that's when we have tornadoes and severe weather. So the technology that we currently have allows me to do that, and there's a lot that's going to be happening with weather, I think, as we move forward, and I think there's a lot of space for innovation and a lot of space for creativity.
Do you want to talk a little bit about your work in STEM education, Ashley?
One of the things that I really like to do is advocate for young girls. I am a space camp grad, woot woot. I was at space camp, Rewind Middle School, and decided there I wanted to do weather. Interestingly enough, I took a couple of electives while I was at space camp. One was weather, and I told my mom when I finished, I said, Mom, when I grow up, I want to be a meteorologist because I love science and I love to talk. This is going to be a perfect career for me. Well, here I am. Bringing that point up is because what we found statistically is that young girls at around the age of 11 to 13 will deviate from this STEM curriculum, and it has nothing to do with their aptitude, but it has everything to do with their social environment. I even tell parents all the time, if you've got a young girl that's engaged or even slightly interested in something in the STEM field, explore that alongside them. You know, it's fun, it's engaging, we do fun things, you know. I mean, no offense, Bill Gates, but I love the meme with him sitting on the stage back in the 90s, and it was like, that's what tech conferences used to look like. This is what tech conferences look like now. So it's a fun space, it's a fun time, and so that's what we try to tell young girls through a lot of these local organizations. I think that we can all agree in this room that we want gender equality in the workplace, but the way to get there is through gender equity. And what gender equity is the way that we treat each other based on our unique needs. It's a fairness in the workplace where men and women may have different needs, and allowing those needs to be met in order to get to the end goal, which is our aptitude being equal, our product being equal, our process being equal. Of all of the chief meteorologists in the United States, only 7% are females. So sometimes I feel like I'm on an island, but to your point, having support makes me feel a lot less on an island than knowing I'm just a small percentage of a gender statistic. Because what I bring to the table is no different than my male counterparts. I do think that there's some elements of humanity that women can bring to a workforce, and especially in a tech space. I'm a big proponent on gender equality, but I'm a bigger proponent of the gender equity element of that equation.
Would any of you like to comment on that difference between human connection and technology connection?
We're kind of wired in a way to focus on our technology to give us all the solutions. But I think one of the things for local television, for example, is I get to be that human liaison between that technology, helping people understand what is happening. So technology is one element. That is what allows me to do my job, but the human interaction is what's required to make people knowledgeable of the process. We can't lose that human connection just for the sake of science.